Thanks for the F Shack. Love Dirty Mike and the boys.
Hey, are you Dirty Mike and the boys? How you know who we are?
What's this they call it, the podcast?
Morning Good. Oh, I love
Hey, welcome to the Earth. Thanks. Oh, wait, I'll start over.
Welcome to Morning Good.
We're here with Max Kaczor
Yeah.
and Josh Dittrich.
Dittrich.
Dietrich.
Sure. Yeah.
Dittrich.
Dittrich.
Dietrich.
Dietrich. That's why I said the
Dietrich.
second time.
Yeah. Second
who's-
time.
Josh,
Yeah, second time.
Josh is my roommate, and I should know his last name. But also, I've never met Max before, so this is fucking fun.
Here we are.
We got two. Oh, yeah.
That's
One
nice.
of these. Yeah. We're talking about OCD. I checked the camera like 400 times, and I think it would be better to lose an episode than for me to, because you're not supposed to feed the beast. Because if you're anxious about something and you just keep doing the things that like are supposed to fix that, it just makes the beast worse. So it'd be
Yeah.
so it'd be worse for me. It would be better for me to just lose an episode. I mean, it would suck for you guys because you waste an hour of your time.
I
But-
mean, I have an hour to kill. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
it's not.
I'm not doing anything right now.
Yeah, we could.
I also feel like nothing that we're gonna say in the next hour is gonna be so groundbreaking that if it doesn't make it to the internet, it's like I'm not gonna cure cancer right now. I might cure diabetes, but yeah.
Well, the funniest are like, dude, the best is like you'll have an episode and like the fucking the thing will cut out and you'll lose the whole episode.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, all right, well, let's start again. People are like, we have time, and so you'll do 2 hours, and then just try to recreate the first hour,
It's
and
gone.
it's terrible.
The moment's gone. The
You're
moment's
like,
gone.
yeah, you know, this kind of reminds me when Benjamin Franklin, and people were like, don't even fucking try that shit. Yeah.
No, I feel that with for whatever reason, when I started stand up, there was a club that I went to when I was living in Spain. Every time I went, the first like 10 times I went, I used the bathroom. So then every time I went after, I just automatically had to use the bathroom.
Oh, it's like a mental thing.
Yeah.
You
and I, like-
conditioned yourself to have to
and
piss
I
when you do
I had to
stand-up?
like break myself from it because I was like, I can't keep doing this. You know,
Yeah,
like,
I can't just
It's
use
not
the
like affecting
bathroom.
me negatively, but it's like I feel weird walking in saying hey, and then immediately going to the bathroom. 'Cause I was
Yeah.
there like every week.
Also, Josh, thanks for bringing a guest. He's been to Spain. See, look, you've already like I know you didn't come on like I'm going to talk about Spain, but I'm like, thank God. I'm like, now we already got things to talk about. I'm just
In case there's dead air, just with Spain.
Talking about
this
Spain,
might be
give like
manic,
tourists.
but
Yeah.
like I had a full 360, dude. Before this, or I guess 180. Before this episode,
You're just exactly, you hyped up and then got exactly the same
I just
as
got
you
just as depressed. I'm just doing this crazy whatever. I made some bet, so I'm on like a crazy calorie deficit right now. So I'm just like every day I'm like, "Ugh."
What are you doing?
I gotta have a 6-pack by this bachelor party. If I,
That's a great. I gotta have a 6-pack by this bachelor party.
yes, yeah.
How's that going?
I'm close, bro. It's like if
It's going
I,
well.
If I
It's going
cough,
well.
Have you flexed on camera yet?
no, they would probably like that though.
Yeah.
But I'm almost like
When he gets the 6-pack,
I
we
get
never do
really
a micro
weird about
dead
it, but
reveal.
it's like I got it. It looks great at certain lighting. So
It looks great if you close your eyes and picture a 6-pack.
yeah. When I cough with no water in my stomach, it's like there. So it's like whenever everybody asks me at the weirdest times, like, I see your stomach. I'm not self-conscious, but I'm like, I just don't want to eat a meal and then show somebody and have them be like, nah.
Right. You're like, no, I gotta hold on. Let me just dim the lights. Let me
Yeah,
push
yeah.
it back.
Have
Let
you
me-
set the like a date and time for when your buddy will check if you have the 6-pack?
Fridays, 2 Fridays from now.
Okay, but like you know exact, so you can like taper into it. He's not just gonna like surprise you.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that'd be so funny. In the middle of the night, he comes in, he's like, 6-pack check, 6-pack check. Yeah, I'm like,
Rips your shirt off.
give
while
me
you're
a second.
asleep.
I'm like trying to do crunches. Yeah, that would be fun.
Hold on.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. No, it's like I technically have 3 weeks, but I'm trying to do it in 2 so I can start alcohol training for the bachelor party. I'm doing some cross training because I haven't drank in 7 weeks, so I got to make sure that
How long have you been working on the 6-pack?
7 weeks.
Oh,
The,
okay.
the cut
Yeah,
has
yeah.
been insane. It's like high school wrestler levels of
Yeah.
how many pounds have you dropped in like 6 weeks?
So I dropped 40 pounds in 6 weeks.
He's not allowed to donate blood anymore.
Yeah. I tried
why would you?
donating plasma, and they're like, I think you have AIDS.
Wait,
I'm like,
wait.
Yeah.
One day that actually happened is so Michael's been on a donate blood tear because it's like a free money hack. And he also started the diet. And one week he donated blood like 4 times in a week.
You can't
and
do
then
that.
and then he comes in and he's like, oh my God, I lost 10 pounds. And I'm like, yeah, they also sucked 2 gallons of blood out of you. Like,
You're also down 4 pints.
Yeah.
You're not muscle mass. It's like you have so much less
That's,
liquid.
that's
inside of
girl
you.
math.
Yeah, I don't trust them at the plasma clinic because they tell me they're like, you could donate twice a week, which is why I do it twice a week when I would do it. And then you look, and they're like Nalgene-sized bottles of plasma. I'm like, I don't believe you guys. I think you're full of shit.
How much do you get?
$50.
That's not worth it.
No. Yeah. The best is, I wish I was one of those guys that just added it up. Because, like, it would be nice to just have a plasma card. Because, like, they give you a little credit card. So, like, I'd used it. It was, like, more when I was,
like a Visa debit type thing?
Yeah. So I'd buy groceries with it. But I mean, like, dude, I would hit moments where I literally had $0 in my bank account, go hit the plasma clinic, go get groceries. But because I haven't drank it in 7 weeks, I've saved up a bunch of money. Not a ton. I'm still fucking broke, but I'm like, I have not had to hop the turnstile or donate plasma or blow people. You know, it's been very
right.
It's been very nice. There's been none of those moments where I'm like, this is like
But you're also like medically not allowed to donate.
Correct. I want to call them about that and be like, can we reassess me? Can I come in as like a new guy as this way? Yeah.
How do they know? Do you go to the same place? Or like, how do they know it's you?
Well, see, that place I like because it's open on Sundays. Most of them are open on Sundays. Dude, I used to do it crazy, bro. I would come in. This is so funny. I'm prescribed Klonopin,
Sure.
which
I don't think you can donate with that either.
yeah, bro. There are people on crystal meth in there. It's crazy because it's all people that don't have money. So
Right.
you get like a lot of drug addicts in there.
Yeah.
But what I would fucking do, dude, is I prescribed Klonopin because I had like a bad panic attack in college. It's been like 6 years now, so like I should not still be prescribed Klonopin.
Yeah.
But either way, I would like take it super late at night. So the next morning I would be kind of pilled out. And so I just come in, sunglasses, hoodie on, just like benzoed out like a rapper, and then just sit in the chair and fall asleep while I donate plasma. And they'd keep arguing with me. They're like, you can't fall asleep. I'll be like, I'm not asleep right now. Like, just with shades on, like listen to some Juicy J.
I would love to see the dude who gets your plasma just come out of surgery just like so high and just not know. Like I want like a Mormon guy to get your plasma and just be like, what is this? Like, oh my, he's never experienced
Why do I
caffeine
feel
before.
so good?
And he's just like, I need to get more plasma. He gets addicted to getting plasma.
Yeah.
Like that's
because
his
how do they?
drug.
I
He
guess
finds you.
yeah.
You're his blood boy.
Yeah, he's like, what kind of? Yeah,
He's like a vampire.
Yeah.
He
Like
just sucks the blood out of you.
Silicon Valley, where like the rich dude has that blood boy to like help keep him younger.
Oh,
And
that's-
that rich guy right now, the one who's like
Dude,
anti-aging.
Brian
He's-
Johnson, or
he's
doesn't
got
he
a
drink
he's
his
got a
son's
blood
cum or something.
blood.
Okay.
He's got a blood boy.
You know
you
what's
would
so
be his
hard?
blood boy.
Michael, have
but,
you
like,
been donating cum this whole
No,
time? It
no,
just
no.
stopped.
My mom
surprised
said
you-
I should, and I'm like, no.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm surprised you're not doing that because that's way more lucrative.
I'm
It's
just
also
so scared of like.
It's $1,400.
For one, I don't
you
want.
just can't jack off for 2 weeks or have sex.
Yeah, that's fine actually. Because
That's
like,
it.
My sex drive since I start cutting, like your brain tells you don't need to fuck anymore. So like I come like twice a week now. It used to be like 2 or 3 times a day. I was busted, dude. I had a paper
It's
towel.
probably also because like your body's like eating itself, so it can't
Yeah,
work.
it
can't
eats
work.
the cum for
Also,
nutrients.
A key component of jacking off is having an erection. But if you're losing 4 pints a week, there's no blood to put down
That
there.
is true.
That is true. That is true.
Babe, I'm sorry. This like, did you drink
just-
too much tonight? No, I have zero blood in my body.
No, I hit the clinic this
donated-
week a few times, bro. I'm just 4 pints down. You see, it's a halfer. I'll get there. I'll get there in a couple weeks.
Yeah, no, I like, no sex drive. I mean, it's starting to come back. I don't know why it's coming back because I'm losing weight faster, but
Because
it's
you have a 6-pack now.
that's true. Now my body's like, it's
was like-
fucking
I was
time.
like, it's fucking
time
time.
to get some fucking pussy. You got a 6.
Where's the bachelor party?
Key West, the most magical place on it. You ever been
I
there?
was gonna say you could probably fuck down there, but it's old people.
Oh no, yeah, but there'll be chicks down there. I think.
No,
there will be chicks.
There'll definitely
Old
be chicks.
chicks.
I also like fucking old ladies.
and they'll
I
be
like-
leathery.
yeah, I like banging old ladies. I'm mostly like, it's weird because like I was going through a real kind of phase before this of like I was like, I want to get some fucking pussy tonight at the bars.
Yeah.
And ever since I've like gone on this little journey, I'm kind of like, I'm just excited to drink with my guy friends at a bar. It's really kind of like, it's crazy the mental adjustments that I've had from not drinking for 7 weeks and taking more Adderall than usual. There's definitely been like
That's
a,
like to complete.
From not drinking and being hyper focused on my life.
yeah, dude, I was on Adderall talking to my therapist the other day. And she's like, you're so clear. And I'm like, oh, I'm fucking.
You're
on
like, it's
Adderall.
crazy.
Dude, it's like, I think that everything you're experiencing right now, like the losing weight, the not being super horny, the like feeling better about everything, I think it's all just like what happens when you stop drinking. Like I think you're just like, I haven't drank in forever, and I haven't been puss hounding at 3 a.m. And it's like those two are so intrinsically tied. Like,
and I also like my health is better.
I'm losing weight.
My brain is
I'm
functioning.
sleeping better.
Yeah.
It's like,
I can lose 4 pints and be fine.
how did you feel when you
the same? Yeah, I don't drink. So like the same thing. Like I stopped drinking because I put a hole in my stomach
From drinking?
from.
Ozo with a gun?
You want to see a trick? No. From a number of
Call
things.
it belly button. But,
Yeah, I made it go all the way through.
You discovered your belly button. We're like, oh fuck!
I gotta quit drinking, man.
What's up? No, I had ulcers because like my family, my mom's side has like a genetic disposition to gastrointestinal issues, is what I was
Okay.
told from the doctor. And then also with that, plus a little bit of fun, plus poor diet, plus super high stress, all of it together
Equals hole in the stomach.
a bad time.
And you do look like, okay, so for the listeners that I
Where's
guess
it going?
watching, you look
They just met.
like a guy that can just crush beers. Like you got camo.
I used to mean something.
Yeah. You got camo pants. You're like a large guy. You got
Yeah.
a big beard. You're like, what are you, 6? I like that I'm just giving the foot range as if I'm gonna guess.
What are you like?
You're
6
announcing
foot?
him like he's a pick at the draft.
Yeah,
You're like, big guy, big
And
broad
Mitch
shoulder.
Warner from Buffalo. 6'6".
6'6", yeah.
Yeah. No, I've never thrown up from drinking, and my best night.
Well, yeah, the alcohol never left your mouth. It was burrowing into your intestinal lining.
That's why I'm so big. It was filled with beer, excess beer. I think the best night that I remember was like 16 or 17 beers, like 5 or 6 mixed drinks, and a handful of shots.
Yeah.
Woke up fine the next day. Browned out a lot.
Yeah.
But I had probably 2 or 3 hangovers. Like I processed it
That's
like a
crazy.
champion.
Well, that is the thing I'm really frustrated about. When I've done like I'll take a month off drinking like most years.
Yeah.
And like the annoying part is when you go back, you actually have worse hangovers.
Yeah.
It's the most unrewarding system. So it's like your body's less used to alcohol. Like the more you drink, your body's like, yeah, this is supposed to be in here, and you feel better. Like
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. Like I stopped for like 6 months to fix it, and then I had a beer and I had like crazy heartburn. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna do this ever again.
yeah.
This blows.
I don't know. I feel like when I drink more, it's worse. And I would just hate for like a Morning Good listener to just be like, that's why I feel bad to drink every day instead.
No. We are
guys,
in no way.
Guys.
If
Look.
you need to have a bender, have a bender.
Do
If you need to do 1 day to 2 day to 3 day, do what you need to do.
I'm gonna say this: we're not responsible for anything you guys do, and it doesn't matter to us. You want to take a plastic bag, put it over your head. I say it's a good idea. The listeners are all responsible for themselves.
Also, just remember, he donates 4 pints a week, so his blood is not there.
Yeah, I do love Josh is such a good guy that a part of him is like, let's make sure the listeners do not get out. Make sure they're safe at home listening.
Yeah.
No, but I get where you're coming from. I just like, I mean, like it's more like the how often you drink. Like obviously, if I had like 30 beers, I'd be more hungover than if I had 10. But if I drank every single night, like my hangovers, would
Your
be
body
less
gets
bad.
more like used to it.
Yeah. If you're
that's
doing
all right.
like 2-3 a day for like a month straight, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do if you do 30 on a Tuesday, your Wednesday's gonna be a bad day.
Yeah, that's why the
Yeah.
week leading up to this bachelor party is going to be like just me on the treadmill with the beer hat on. You know, like the little
The cross training.
yeah. What is it?
getting
Was it
both in.
Beer Fest where he's like has like a keg over his head and he's got like the funnel going down while he's like I'm gonna be like upside down like in the club video of 50 Cent doing like crunches upside down, but they're like waterboard. Yeah.
It's a yeah.
Just getting waterboarded with beer every morning, yeah. Because like my favorite part is like I have some of these friends that are like, well, I don't really drink the way I used to, but so that'll be great because I'll have a light alcohol tolerance on the bachelor party. I go, that's not great. Like you think you either drink or you don't with stuff like that. Where I think like, oh, of course you can have a couple beers, but I know these people and all the guys that are like, oh yeah, it's gonna be nice because I'm not gonna spend that much on alcohol. I'm like, no, you're gonna get there and you're going to black out. Like that's what's going to happen. If you're one of those guys that like has a party animal inside of him and is getting introduced to his high school friends again after a while, like it's going to be a disaster if you don't prepare yourself.
That's a full moon for that werewolf.
Yes.
Key West, your high school buddies, and just Key West again, like bachelor party. It's gonna come back.
Oh yeah. Well, and the thing I like about bachelor parties is I like that you get rewarded for the bigger pieces of shit you are. Like it's one of those things that like they're like Johnny's fucking he ripped shots at 8 a.m. and that's like a rewarded thing during that experience. But for me, I'm just like I've earned it at this point because it's like
I guess you never actually answered why you made a bet to get a 6-pack.
oh, it was all out of like
Yeah, we went all the way back to this.
I was talking about how lame it is to have.
Is it a bet with yourself or?
I was just
No, it's a real bet. Like there's someone.
yeah, I was drunk with my buddy whose bachelor party is, and he was just like, I was like, dude, abs are so fucking lame. I could fucking have them if I cared. And he's like, no, you couldn't. I was like, yeah, I could. I was like, I could have him buy your bachelor party, dude. He's like, no, you cannot. I was like, I could have a 6-pack by your bachelor party. He's like, no, he's like, dude, if you can have a 6-pack by a bachelor party, washboard abs, you don't have to pay for the Airbnb. I was like, all right, you're on. And so I went out drinking that night, and then the next night, and then that was the most. When that Sunday morning was the least anxiety I've ever had because it was like going into I'm about to like do a cleanse. So there's something about me being like, oh, I don't have to feel guilty or gross about any of my behavior because
I'm about to get way better.
Yeah. So it
I'm
was
about to be a menace.
yeah. So yeah, that's what kind of fucking happened. And now I just watch food videos and like borderline come in my pants. Like it's insane, dude. I just watch like
He watches me eat, and it's like if
it's getting weird.
if stimulating your penis with your hand is masturbating, he's like stimulating his tongue with his fingers while he watches me eat pizza.
Are you doing like ghost
So
bites?
I eat, and he's just like, it feels just like it. While I'm just like eating a DiGiorno trying to watch TV, and I can taste the pepperoni. I'm like, Michael, you
Let me
fucking
get a sniff.
get a room.
yeah. It's getting to that point, dude. It's so funny. It's like I like there are places I walk by and I want to just like put my head against the glass at like a donut shop and just kind of like sniff a little bit. Like it's getting weird, man.
You should stay inside.
Yeah. I do hit the treadmill now, and I'm watching the food people, which I got to get better.
Wait,
food.
What do you mean food people?
I'm sorry. Yeah, can we touch on that?
What is food people?
like food critic people.
Like what? Like name a.
So I've been watching. It's called like Insider, whatever. So it's like I was excited. I haven't found my guy yet, right? It's kind of one of those things where it's like everybody's like you should listen to podcasts, and then you got to kind of shop around a little bit when you first. So that's kind of how I'm with food people, where like a lot of them are like trying to be funny, and that just upsets me while I'm on the treadmill. I'm on the exercise bike, and I'm like, "You're not a comedian. Just show me the burritos.
Show me the fucking burritos.
Show me the fucking food.
Show me the beans."
Yeah. So it's like this one guy. I don't know what his name, but he's like just this kind of like guy in New York City, and it's his buddy from England. He's like, "Bet you don't have that over there, huh?" Like doing like little jabs at his buddy and just kind of little jokes like that. And then I'm just like, it annoys me. But then I tried watching the Action Bronson one, and that's too much like. That's like too much personality going on.
Fuck, that's delicious.
Yeah. Where he's just like, this is the fucking, and then he's just like pulling the guy to the side and giving him like a nugget. And he's like, this is where you get the best fucking shit in New York. And I'm like, that's too much not showing the food. So I like mostly just seeing the food. It goes back to porn. There's too much exposition in a lot of these.
Yeah. You're not there. You don't want the storyline. You just want the boobs.
I just want the boobs. Yeah. Some of them the view's too far. This is just porn. Like it's like some of them the view's too far away, and I'm like I can't even see like the wetness of the burger. You know what I mean? It's like it's getting a little out of hand. But
do you watch like cooking shows and stuff too, or like the food critique types?
I don't really care about like my thing is I don't care about like the food how it's made. I want to see like
no foreplay.
No foreplay. Just get right.
You
into
just
fucking.
Right.
Yeah. I want to see it like I do want to see it maybe on the grill, but like right before it's packaged up. So I want to see like the inside of a burrito, but I don't want to see them cooking up.
You
the
little
raw meat.
freak.
Yeah. I'm a nasty boy, dude. It's getting.
This is why you don't have a sex drive anymore. It's just the reward center's been hijacked by how hungry you are. That you're just like, I want to eat food, and then your brain's like, we also want to fuck food. We want to drink food. Like it's just you're in such a deficit that every part of your brain is just food now. Like women don't exist, alcohol doesn't exist. So it's just like this will give me everything.
Food and 6-pack.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it's so funny what my favorite's my fucking phone because like I had a privacy screen on for a while because I liked writing jokes in the train and stuff like that. So I was like, I don't want people.
Somebody might steal that.
He didn't want to make the whole train laugh too hard.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be crushing it, dude. The train will crash. But I forgot I took the privacy off, and half the pictures on my phone are just me now taking shirtless mirror pictures to look at my progress,
Sure.
and shirtless pictures of other men to like compare abs. So I forgot I had this privacy screen
Now
off.
I know why you did the bet.
Yeah.
What are you going to do next? Make your dick bigger?
Yeah. Well, it would be funny also if he paid me in single dollars, like just tucked it into my bathing suit, just like one by one.
5,000 of them?
I'm like, did you do this just to fuck me? Is this why you're betting me this? But the fucking the train thing's so funny because I realize now for the last like 3 weeks, I've just been my phone has just been shirtless me in public. If anybody looked at my phone screen the last like 3 weeks, there's no privacy screen on it, which I forgot about.
Yeah.
So it's just shirtless men that I'm just constantly looking at on the train.
It's just shirtless dude, burrito, shirtless
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
burger, shirtless dude.
Clip of yourself doing stand-up, burger.
Just a raw steak.
Yeah, that is the interesting thing that happened because stand-up kind of took a back seat, which was it's kind of actually been better for my stand-up in a way because like I was so in my head about stand-up and I was just like, oh, I gotta move my fucking career ahead and all this stuff. And now when I go on stage, I'm just like way more free because I'm kind of like more focused on something else. So I'm kind of like more comfortable on stage.
You're more focused on food. Dude, all of this is just you being hungry.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say like the podcasting does like my energy levels are definitely down lower, but like and I guess like occasionally my crowd work's maybe not as good, but like as far as like me,
What are you eating?
yeah.
Can I get a bite? No? All right.
Can I just smell it, please?
Is that
Please?
a chicken finger? Oh.
Yeah, I've turned into like the funniest was the
You two are you two together? Yeah,
Are you two gonna finish that?
Where was your first date? Really? What'd you order? Oh, really? Where you hide the engagement ring? A souffle? That's like, they're like, yeah. What the
Did
fuck?
you get
What's your order?
appetizers? Oh, I bet those
Did you get a
were good.
rare? Yeah, I bet you fucking did.
I bet those were so fucking good. Yeah, no, it's getting out of hand, but I think it's like it's perfectly like my quitting point is in 2 weeks, and that's
Yeah.
when it's gonna like I could just feel. I was telling him I don't know if it's like I don't know if I'm crashing out or if this is I know it's ending and that's why.
Could be both.
Yeah, it's probably a combo of both, but I think it's gonna hit at I think I'm just gonna get it done and then be out of there. And I the funniest part is that little part of my brain because I've never been super into fitness really. Like I go to the gym and stuff, but like I don't like gym bro culture. I think it's really lame.
Yeah.
But there's just this little piece in the back of my brain because I'm like I jokingly at first was like I'm just gonna get fat again right after this, but I'll probably like ease back in. But there's that little voice in my head that's like, dude, what if you were like
What if you stayed this way?
yeah, man, what if you were the jacked comic that does roids and then becomes lean into your Italianness, which is I'm not gonna do, but there's that little voice in
Is
my head.
good Italian?
What's up?
Is your last name Italian?
No, but I got something in there somewhere.
Good.
Good. Boobity bobbity. That was crazy. Did I show that video of the Italian lady, bro? That was crazy.
Yeah.
I got heckled by this Italian woman the other week. It was the funniest thing. I'm just at this show at the Pair, and someone just goes and starts yelling at me in Italian.
Yeah.
And then she gets kicked out, which is so wild because I was like, you got so drunk at this comedy show that you're in a different country speaking the language. I couldn't have said anything that upset you because you don't speak English. And
Right.
also, why do you think I know what you're saying right now?
Right.
Which is just so insane. Like I cannot imagine getting hammered in like a comedy show in like Japan and starting to yell at the guy and I don't know.
I could. I can see that.
I
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that point, it would have to be racist because I have no idea what he's saying. Like, at what other point would I just be yelling at this guy?
Yeah. There was I don't remember who it was, but there was some comic who was down in Australia and there was a drunk guy heckling him and he like he was like, oh, shut up, fuck off. And like, then the whole crowd like cheered for him because apparently the dude was saying like an Aboriginal slur, but he was also Australian. So
that was Adam Friedland had this.
Yeah. And he just like had no idea what was happening and like got like good news about it. And he was just like, I just told like he couldn't understand what the guy was saying.
Yeah, the guy
anyway.
was just like, oh yeah, baby, like saying whatever Australian nonsense. And I guess the guy was actually being racist towards Aboriginals.
Yeah.
And then Adam Friedland like told him to shut up, and then everybody was like so proud of him because they were just like, man.
He was like, I just
really
told someone to
stood
shut up. Like,
against
what?
racism. He's like, oh yeah, I guess that's what it was.
I still wonder like what that Italian lady was yelling at you because it was
What did you say? Like, what was your joke?
It was every joke. She just started interrupting and yelling in Italian. So
She was probably just drunk.
yeah. She had no idea, but it was just so
Yeah.
funny to just be like, you have nobody knows what you're talking about.
She might have.
Yeah.
What if she was just asking you to like, please say the joke in Italian? Like
yeah,
everyone, please, everyone thinks you're so funny. I
Yeah.
want to know what you're saying.
What do you say?
And you were just like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
Yeah. One of my favorite ones is I had this show one time and I was eating shit on stage, but there was this French guy in the audience with his sister, and every time I tell a punchline, I kind of bomb, and she goes, "Zzz, zzz," and he goes, so like she would translate the jokes, and he was the only one just like loving my shit. But it was just so funny because it was just like,
There'd be like a couple second delay. On
Yeah. And I was like, I'm glad somebody's enjoying it.
Yeah.
Or she's just saying this guy fucking sucks.
She's like,
He's just making
she's like,
fun.
here's my take.
Yeah.
He speaks English. She's just like, what a fucking terrible joke. And he's just like, yeah.
Yeah, this guy sucks. Yeah.
He doesn't even speak Italian.
Yeah. I've had like a lot of hecklers. I think it's the summer. I think people are getting drunk. I'm feeling I don't know. There's something about me that's just getting revived. Like just being outside, the weather, all of it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm feeling happy.
There was one time I was it wasn't me, but one of my buddies back, I'm from Boise, Idaho, and that's where I started stand-up. And when I went back home, one of my buddies who I started with was doing his hour, and he asked me to open for him. So I do it goes well, and then like 5 minutes into this guy's set, these two like 20-year-old girls come in, and they're just being super loud, and they're hammered, and we sit him down at this small like bar, and like 30 minutes into this guy's set, we were like, "Hey, have you like been to a comedy show before?" And they're like, "Yeah, we do all the time. We're regulars. We know how to handle ourselves." And we're like, "Okay, good." And then like 30 minutes in this guy's set, one of the girls raises her hand, and it's a small room because it's Idaho, and so she, the comedian's just like, "No," and then just keeps going, and then she raises her hand, and he's like, "All right, like let's entertain this. What's up?" And she's like, "How long have you been doing comedy for?"
Nice.
And he was just like, "Oh, about 45 minutes." And
Yeah.
got a laugh. And then she's like, no, seriously. Like, how long have you been? And he's like, out of like a while, like, I don't know, but several years. I'm just working on my hour. And then she was just like, oh, and then just like started talking. We like had to go over and take her out. But it's just like the attitude to just be like, I'm going to raise my hand, interrupt this, and just like ask how long you've been doing comedy. It's just, and then she couldn't understand why it was rude. She's like, I was just wondering. Like, I was curious. And it's like, you interrupted. Yeah. I don't know.
Have you ever been the person to ask that question though? I went to a metal show when I was like in high school back in Buffalo, and this band played, and then they got off, and I was like, damn, that was really cool. Was that like one of your first shows? Like, because I didn't know. They're like, no, we've been a band for 2 years. I was like, cool, man. That was nice. Cool. I'll see you around. Like,
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, because it comes across as so mean. This is for the New York crowd. But one of my buddies just started doing stand up. He doesn't know the scene at all, and he just started.
Yeah.
And some guy went up in Brooklyn and did a set, and it went well. And then my buddy went up to him afterwards and was like, "Dude, that set would work great in Manhattan."
nice.
And he was just like, "Fuck you." And my buddy was like, "I was being nice," and we were all like, "Dude, like." That was pretty mean. Like so.
The only time I want people to raise their hand is when I'm doing an hour, because I like do not like whenever I do longer
I can't
sets.
do
I'm
an
like,
hour. Yeah.
dude, it's so like I have to do, not have to. I mean, I'm happy to headline, but it's like
I have to do this.
but it's like I am always just like, all right, let's see, because it's like I like 20 minutes of my material, and then I don't like the next 30.
Hey, if you're booking Michael later,
Just remember that.
just remember
Yeah.
I got a good 20 and a loose 60.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I'll fucking like I can do an hour, but it is like very much like the weirdest is like there's lots of dudes who are like newer to comedy that can actually headline better because like a random crowd doesn't know like the good jokes versus the bad jokes, and they have so much confidence in what they're doing. Like I've seen people that have like doing comedy for a couple years and they headline, they're like, and then I went to the store and my sister was there, and like a random bar crowd is just like, this guy's a fucking
That's
headliner.
hilarious. Yeah.
Versus somebody's been doing it a while, and you're like, you hit that like 40-minute mark, and you're like, all right, this is not my favorite joke, but and you're like, I guess Bill Burr has a similar premise, but I think it's kind of like you have that mindset that kind of holds you back in a way, versus like that like crazy, I don't know. But they're also crazy and talented people who like can like that are cocky enough to.
Yeah.
I hope the guy who booked me to headline this weekend doesn't fucking hear this episode. But
We'll just post it next week after.
This is true. Yeah. By the way, I'm comfortable doing an hour. Okay?
By
He
the
does
way,
a great
But
hour.
please ask
by the way,
a
we
question.
signed
in
a
the middle.
contract.
Please break up the set with questions.
Where are you going?
I'll go to Allentown, PA, then Virginia. Yeah. It's gonna be a long weekend. But
What is there to do in Allentown or Virginia? I honestly
see
don't
me
know.
crush it for an hour.
I think there's like an art festival or something.
Oh, okay.
There's an art festival.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll
Which
go and
one?
eat the paintings.
I don't know. I just know that like there's. Oh, I'm thinking of. There's an Allentown in Buffalo that I'm thinking of. Not
Yeah, there's also an
Allentown.
Wait, there's an
Allentown in New
Allentown
Jersey.
in Buffalo.
Like it's just a neighborhood. But there's something about Allentown, PA that I've heard about. Like people do their weddings there a lot,
Okay.
and like it's a good week to like if something's happening in that town and you're wedding it, like there's some festival happening.
Is it a
I'm
nice-
there from
is it a-
5:30 to the next morning, so I'm.
It might not be that.
You should
but
look for a wedding. You should go crash a wedding.
That'd be
How
fun.
would
I
you-
can enjoy
if-
none of the food or drink
Okay, if you
and not want to fuck any of the women.
you show up to
knock it
the
over.
you show up to the wedding and you're just like staring at people eating and they're
Yeah.
like, is this a pervert? It's like, no, he's hungry. Like I'm just wait, okay, so if
No,
you
that's
were
the headliner.
if you were to crash a wedding,
Yeah.
like you walked up to the front, what would you say to try and get in? Like, would you have a cover? Would you say, or would you just be like, oh, I'm friends with Joe, or would you make up a story?
I think I'd be like, I think my date's inside.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I think
Who's your date?
Katie,
One of the girls.
All right, well, you're good to go, sir.
Katie, and then they're not going to say which Katie. They're going to say Katie McElroy. You're going to say yeah, Katie McElroy. Or what's a really good move is I feel like a lot of weddings will have their names
Yeah.
somewhere. So
Oh,
you-
like on one of the
yeah,
STDs?
so you walk in the STDs.
Yeah, save the date.
Oh,
No one says that.
That was a joke somewhere.
I like
I didn't
that.
write it up, but I will take credit for it
That
right
was
now. I'm
funny.
morning good.
Speaking of that,
I think
Quest
it was from The Office or
Diagnostics,
something like that.
Stop sending me the bill. I'm not going to pay it.
You keep getting bills from medical companies
Yes, I'll pay
because
it
of
one
the yeah. What is that from?
I'll go to City.
We're
M.
airing out his entire medical history.
Yeah.
It's like you give blood. You
Did
have
I
a hole
miss
in your
something?
stomach.
You're just getting random medical bills?
Dude, I used to go to City MD and I thought my insurance was covering all the STD tests, so I would just get tested like once a month. And I don't even raw dog that much, but like condoms break and stuff like that. So, and I would just get STD tested once a month. I mean, also because I have OCD. But and then Quest Diagnostics just sent me a bill for like $400, and I'm like, I'm gonna pay this in like 6 years. I'm like, I'm in no position to pay this
Yeah.
bill. I gotta go get drunk and do drugs in Key West.
Did I tell you one time I had some pain down there and I thought it was STD related, and so I went and I did an STD test and that was negative, and then the urologist examined me. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just having some pain, like in my testicles, and I think it might be related to something. And he does it, and he's like, oh no, this happens when you lift something that's too heavy for you, and you can get inflammation down there. So I thought it was like, oh, dude, like you had sex and you're sick and you got a disease, and it's just like, no, you just are fucking weak, and your
That's
balls
so funny.
exploded.
He's like, look at
I did not know that to be a thing. It was so bizarre.
I love him. Be like, look at the size of your balls. This is how much you can lift with those size balls.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
were you moving or something like that? I think I had just started going to the gym, or I don't even know. Maybe I lifted up a dresser or something. But yeah, I
Yeah.
felt it. I tore a ball in the gym.
Dang,
pretty
yeah.
good.
I remember so the epididymis is the thing, that like holds your
Yeah.
testicle.
That's what it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
Forgot the phrase for it. I just said ball sack.
it's fine. This is a science-based podcast, but I'll forgive it. But I'll like feel like the top of my when I was a kid, I felt the top of my testicle, and I thought that was testicular cancer.
Sure.
And for some reason, I just had that sort of, if I don't pay attention to it, maybe it'll like I just don't want to deal with it. So
That's
I
how
remember,
cancer works.
yeah, I remember just being
Gotta
like,
leave it alone.
You just push it away.
I remember just being really nice to people for like a month because I thought I was gonna die. Like just like low key, just being like, Grandpa, I love you, right?
Like this karma will make my cancer go away.
Yeah. I just kept that kind of like, hey, you're like my best friend, right? And it's like, okay.
Dude, I did that because I did some plane anxiety. I don't love flying, and I fly a lot. So like a couple days leading up to my flight, I'm making sure to call everyone. I'm texting people.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, just in case. So knock on wood, it ever goes bad. Like if I have a flight coming up, I'm like I'm the same as
Do you
I'm
drink
like,
ever
so
before going on flights?
Not anymore. Because I did one flight drunk, and it was the greatest time of my
Where'd
life.
you go?
I was flying from Dublin to Scotland, And
Yeah.
so,
You're probably the most sober guy on the plane.
Oh, probably, yeah. But we had like
It's like a 30-minute flight.
Oh yeah, it was also like 45 minutes.
I've done that flight before. That's
No,
such
yeah.
a short flight.
We just like bar hopped around Dublin. 'Cause we were only there for a day, so we just like day drank, had like so much Guinness because it's good there, and then got on this flight. And we were in the air for like maybe 45 minutes, but I was like having so much fun because I was just like hammered and just sitting in a window seat, and it was but like that's not sustainable for like a 6-hour flight. Like you'd have to
No.
like black out before or spend a bunch of money on the plane.
Also, you get drunker on flights because
the
Because of
altitude.
the altitude. Your
Yeah.
body can react
you should
different.
drink on the way to Florida.
Buddy, I am like, I'm. This is how OCD I am. I'm like, okay, so I'll end the bet, and then Friday, Saturday, I'll drink. I'll take off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I'll drink, just so I have like a fucking.
A cushion going into it.
I need a tolerance, man. I don't like being the drunkest girl at the party. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it's not.
What if you just drank less?
Buddy, it's just not gonna happen. Everybody keeps saying, and I'm like, I know that there's this animal inside me, and the second I start seeing like fucking hurricanes and fucking rum runners and all these things, I'm just gonna want to just like.
I
fucking-
didn't realize that was a Mitch drink, and I thought you were like, when I get to Florida and like a hurricane comes,
hurricane
I'm just gonna like
happens.
go crazy.
Dude, I'm gonna hear some fucking Jimmy Buffett and then just be like fucking pounded drinks. Yeah,
Are you
but,
doing?
but I am gonna try. Like I am gonna try to pace myself. Like I am
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
like But I'm like, there's only so much. God is only so powerful to stop.
Well,
me.
have you ever seen that one? There's that meme online that's like, it's like the Trojan horse, and on the head it's like one more beer, and inside it's just like a million beers.
Yeah.
So that's what happens. Like they sneak in that way.
yeah.
How long is it? How long is the trip?
3 days.
3 full or like travel?
So it's like I purposely rented a car so I can get to town early, especially because if I have these abs, I'm like, oh, I'm strutting, dude. I'm going.
Yeah,
like,
you
the
have to.
pool.
You got to peacock a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, this will only. I'm so aware that this will only be like a 2-week phase of my life.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna get everybody that could possibly see my stomach to see my stomach. I'm gonna be driving down there shirtless, getting pulled over by cops.
Are
showing
you
them
driving
that-
to Florida?
No.
Oh.
I'm flying into Orlando. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split up the trip into 2 days. I'm going to go from Orlando to Miami, crash with somebody there. I don't know who yet. And then go from Miami, pick up my buddy from the airport at Fort Lauderdale, then go down to Key West. Try to hit a pool bar by like 1 p.m. Friday. Everybody comes in from like 2 to 4.
Yeah.
Meet everybody for dinner. Go out that night. We got a party barge, like one of those boats that's just like got like
Oh,
tables
yeah,
and
yeah,
shit on it.
yeah.
Yeah. And then it's gonna hit some coral reefs, do some snorkeling, do some sandbars.
Yeah.
Then, maybe take a nap, go out.
This
that
sounds like
night.
the best bar mitzvah of all time. Like,
Yeah.
we had
Yeah.
a boat with tables, and we're going
We
to
got a boat with tables, we're
going
gonna
to some
hit some
coral
coral
reefs and we're
reefs.
snorkeling.
Maybe take a nap.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited. And then
Back on Sunday?
no, Sunday,
Sunday full day.
full day. Yeah,
Back
we're-
on Monday.
back on Monday. Yeah. Which
Gotcha.
I'll probably have a couple drinks Monday just because that car ride's like 7 hours. So I'll probably have like a couple drinks and just sleep in the back.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're not driving.
Not back. No, I'm renting a car to go there, and then I'm having my buddy take me back because I'm like,
Smart.
dude, I've done that like hungover drive for set. It's the worst experience. In the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
I like knowing I'm not responsible. Like I don't even mind. Flights actually don't freak me out because I'm like, if I die, it's not my fault.
Yeah. My
That's
grandpa
what I don't like.
stopped flying when he was 60 because he didn't want to be on the plane if it was someone else's time.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like he's like, if someone else is gonna die on this plane, I don't
That's
want to be
hilarious.
included with it.
That's such an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he hasn't flown in like 20 years.
Wait.
Because he's like, what if God wants somebody else to die on that plane? He's taking down the whole thing.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
I fly quite a bit, and I have just come to terms with it because it's like it's just part of the job.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just like I traveled so much before doing stand up too that was just like this is what it is. But I was flying from Buffalo to Chicago with a buddy of mine, and we circled around Chicago and had to land in Detroit temporarily because there was a storm in Chicago. And I looked over, and he was typing out an essay to his girlfriend. Like, I hope to see you again one day. Like there's this whole thing. And I was like, buddy, we're on a Southwest flight. Like, Detroit's right there. We're gonna be totally fine.
Dude.
The captain came over and he's like, hey guys, we have to like just quickly reroute to Detroit, temporary landing. Don't worry, it'll be like 2 hours max. And he looks at me and goes, we're going to die on this plane. I was like, we're going to be so fine. We're going to be
Because we're rerouting to Detroit.
That's so funny that you just got people watching the Minecraft movie and the people that think they're gonna die,
They're about to
like
die.
just
Yeah.
right next to each other.
Well,
It's
dude,
crazy.
one time, so where it started is I was flying into Denver, which notoriously bouncy airport because of the Rockies and all that.
Sure.
And we were,
Notoriously.
I'm very confused by what you just said.
Have you,
'Cause
well,
the-
neither of you
the-
guys are from the West.
the mountains
so
are so
I
high.
figured the
Okay.
mountains are so big that
You
flying
made it
in,
sound like the
there's-
building was like.
you look down, it's like, dung, dung, dung. It's really hard to land because it's like, then I catch it. But no, because I know you guys are both from the East Coast, but Denver is notoriously like the Rockies and the mountains. It's like the wind is crazy. And flying into Denver one time, and like we were coming in, and I wasn't afraid of flying. And then we were coming in, and like the plane started bouncing a bit, and then the pilot gets on, and I swear to God, was just like, ladies and gentlemen, please, flight attendants, take your jump seats. Everybody strap in. Your safety is our number one priority. And it's like, if you're flipping shit and the pilot comes on and
Yeah.
he's like, ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing it. You're like, all right, we're fine. But he was freaking out. The flight attendants were running up and down the aisle. And that's where I was like, oh, this, like, it didn't. I made it. We're fine.
Yeah.
But that, ever since then, I've always just been a little like, huh. And it's nothing has like that has ever happened again. But,
we were,
That is
yeah.
scary.
And that's what started it. And so, yeah.
I feel like there's certain things that happen that just put you over. Like we were flying from Buffalo to Orlando once, and our plane got hit by lightning like very quickly, and it just like I was like 10. I was like, oh, that can't be good. And then we like kept going, and like I was flying Syracuse to Chicago for a festival. We took off, and then we quickly turned, and I'm like, this is a straight drive. Like we're right there.
Yeah.
Why are we turning? And the pilot very calmly was like, hey, we have to return back to Syracuse. Something happened during takeoff. Everything's fine, but we have to go back to Syracuse. The windshield cracked on the airplane.
The front?
The front
Does
his.
it normally does it normally like a lady fly out when that happens? I thought that happened. It was
Oh, the guy, the pilot.
yeah. I saw a video one time. It was like a lady. I only saw like
I don't think they were high enough up.
We were at 10,000 feet.
okay.
So it's
Yeah.
just like you're like but
You don't
I
get
think
like
full.
sucked through the crack like a fucking X-Men or something.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
The pressure's so high. That
Yeah, our co-pilot just fucking.
Yeah.
But I'm
that
chill.
is like a Mythbusters. I think they say if you poke a hole in like a maybe it's a submarine. I don't know.
submarine. I don't think you'd
So
go
the
out.
I just said,
The water would come
I
in.
apologize, listeners. I know this is a
Science
science
podcast.
Yes, I know. I'm kind of letting you know.
He's 4 pints low, all right? He's not thinking clearly.
Yeah. But that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. No, it was nuts. And then like I just waited in the Syracuse airport for 6 hours and I took another flight. Like it's like you can either just never fly again or you can just kind of get
Well,
over
that's the
it.
thing is like they always figure it out. Like they're just like yeah, our windshield cracked. But like we're going back down. Like they're not like fuck it. Let's just see what happens.
That's it. Like
So,
if he
yeah.
panics and we crash, it's his fault. But like it spidered and he went, ooh,
He's
okay.
like, let's take this one back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like. This is how much I've stopped giving a fuck. It's so funny. I was on a flight last week, and they literally go, "Is there a doctor on the plane?" And I just put my sleep mask on and just went to sleep. I was like, I don't know, maybe somebody's dying on this flight, but I don't really care.
You're not a doctor.
Yeah.
so-
You're not a doctor.
You're not a doctor.
What are
One
you gonna
time,
do?
so my mom is a doctor, and she's also like 5'2", and just like she's a small woman. And one time, something happened to a guy on the back of the plane, and the female flight attendant, was like standing in the aisle, and they're like, "Doctor, please come to the back." So my mom gets up and walks back, and she's walking back, and the flight attendant goes, "Ma'am, can you go back to your seat? We're waiting on the doctor."
That's so fucking funny.
My mom's like, "Fuck you,"
Yeah,
saves the
yeah.
guy's life, and then just like, and I think they gave her like a couple thousand miles or something like that. They're like,
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
so
Fucked
sorry
up.
for the just blatant sexism." Like,
Well, have you ever heard that riddle? This is how sexist I was.
I know the one. Yep.
Yes, there's this riddle where it
Oh,
goes.
tell Max.
Yeah, so this riddle took me years to
So this is a science and riddle based podcast.
Yes. This is for like, this is not fucking whatever garbage brain goofball podcast you listen to. You know, a lot of people
These
are
are
out
big,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people are out there just farts and cum and jizz, and this is nuts. But
Listeners, try and solve along.
This
with
is
Max.
blood donation. This is sobriety.
We're
this
talking-
is science.
yes,
This
we're
is
talking
riddles.
altitude, geometry.
Yeah.
It's complex stuff.
Give him the riddle.
What's the riddle?
Solve along with.
What do we
So there was a gallon of
So-
cum, and
Wait, what was it?
There's a gallon of cum. No, there's this like I remember my dad told me this, and we were at a pool with like so many people, and nobody could figure out. So okay, there's
Yeah.
there's a There's a man.
You're gonna mess up this riddle, aren't you? I can tell
You
right
know it
now.
really well?
No, you got it. But
Okay, so
you're
there's-
gonna fuck it up.
There's just a lot of lead up for what I don't know is gonna come out.
Okay, so you're gonna get it immediately, but most people do not get it immediately. So
Yeah.
there's a man and his son driving in a car. They get in a car accident.
Yeah.
The dad dies immediately. The son is rushed to the hospital. The doctor says, I can't operate on this person. This is my son. How is this possible?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it possible?
Just run it back.
Okay, there's a man and his son. They're driving in a car. They get in a car accident.
Yeah.
The dad dies immediately. The son is rushed to the hospital. The doctor says, I cannot operate on this person. This is my son.
Because
How
the
is-
doctor is his mom.
Exactly.
Well, we did
You know,
set up the
yeah,
riddle.
yeah.
We did set up the riddle with
Yes.
me saying my mom is a doctor
Yes.
and she got mistaken one
Yes,
time,
but-
and then you're like,
but
but
yeah, exactly.
Also,
But
just
you-
like a
you-
real smooth brain riddle that was.
oh,
Yeah.
trust me, it fucks people up.
People literally cannot.
Don't get. They're like, was
Is it gay? And you're like,
it-
no.
yeah, it's like, was the kid like literally the sun, and he's like a ball of light, and you're
It's
like, no, he's a
crazy, dude.
human. Like,
Yeah, it's just the brain naturally, especially I think if a man is telling it, like you put the voice as a
Yeah.
male doctor. So it's like
Yeah.
it's such a simple one, but literally
because
like,
normally when you're at the clinic and like they're like, oh, like you're okay, and they're like, the doctor will see you now. Dude walks in, they'll be like, oh, the girl doctor will see you now, and like like,
Yes.
no one calls them doctors.
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Those
The
are girl
doctor with the
doctors.
big old pussy will see you. Is what they normally say. And then I'm like, thank you. I was so confused.
Is that
what
what
this lady was doing in a lab
PhD
coat?
is?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Yeah, it's pH balanced D. I don't know. But yeah, no, it's crazy. And okay, so
What, Max? You weren't ready for this pivot?
Yeah.
Go, you say something.
but you
Listeners, we had in case you're wondering, we're aware going into this that like the world just needs 3 more white men podcasting. So Matt's counteracted that, and he's doing Vietnamese face. It's like blackface, but he painted himself to look Vietnamese.
I missed this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Listeners, trust me, he's painted like a Vietnamese man.
Well, for the people that can't see.
For the
yes.
listeners, yeah,
Yes,
Max is
yes.
painted like a Vietnamese
Yes,
man.
yes.
Because we're trying to up the diversity. So, Max,
Yeah.
have anything to say?
You know, not every riff is worth it.
I am trying to yes.
we're
and
gonna
it just took me a
cut that one. We're gonna cut that one. All right, let's transition back out of that. So,
So planes.
female
man.
doctor.
second. Yeah. So where you grew up, and I wonder too if it's just from
Trying to
being,
do a bit, Max.
I wonder if being from Florida, if it was just there was more, but like you had the same thing where people were trying to figure it out wherever in Ohio, right? Indiana,
Idaho.
I'm such a bad listener.
Do you know what his last name is?
Josh Dittrich?
Yep, there it is.
And
You know what
Rick-
his last name is?
Buddy, dude, not even close.
They just met. To be fair, we've lived together for like 4 months.
Yeah. I should know.
Sure.
Max Casablanca.
That's almost it.
What is
Starts with a K. A
Colossus?
Kaczor.
Kazor, okay.
But how do you spell it?
Colossus. I like Colossus. You know who Colossus is?
No.
It's part of the X-Men.
Oh.
I keep trying to shoehorn X-Men.
You do have a lot of X-Men references.
I like X-Men.
Are you from Florida?
Yeah, I'm from Orlando.
Wow.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Insult me on your podcast.
Why did he
Or my-
become so mean? This like decided he was so friendly
That'd
and
be
like,
so
yeah, I
fun-
get that, and like
that'd be really
alcohol on the
funny.
planes, and then he's like, you're not funny, and you're a stupid Florida man. I'm like, what the fuck
Obviously,
happened,
we're
Max?
busting balls, but it would be really funny if this just turned to sharp corn. But like,
It did. What do you mean,
He's
if?
just fucking around. I take no offense to Florida dumb stuff. Like when I was a kid, there was a bumper sticker in front of us, and it said Florida education. And I asked my mom, I was like, what does that mean? She's like, oh, there's like terrible education in the state. And it's like an ironic joke. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So like I always knew growing up that we were, different.
I was always surprised, like, because my grandma lives down in Florida, and my grandpa, and we'd go visit, and like yours, because I don't know about your school, but like some of the schools out there where they live, like outside of Tampa, are like open air, like there's no hallways. It's like
Yeah.
because I'm from Buffalo, so it's snowy, so everything's inside.
Same.
I was like, wow, that must be so cool to just be in class and then go outside all the time and shit. And it's like, yeah, it's because it's 150 degrees. And
Yeah,
humid.
yeah.
Like you have to be outside.
Totally. Yeah. Well, it's also, we have air conditioning. So
What?
that is one thing that fucking blowing your mind. I will say this: people that don't know this in Florida, bro, fucking the New York City air conditioning situation is terrible. Like it's like in
Yeah.
Florida, the air conditioning wasn't invented in Florida, and it's one of those where like if you go,
Wait, was it really?
yeah, if you go anywhere in Florida, it's like everywhere is like very well air conditioning because it gets so hot. And so like that was a huge adjustment here where like our fucking roommate Jake, this guy's like, yeah, I don't need air conditioning during summer. I'm like, you're fucking insane, dude. Like for me,
He
it's
just
like,
bodies it.
yeah, you
I didn't have air conditioning for my first 2.5 years in Spain. So I just got very used to being hot.
yeah.
And so once I was in places with air conditioning, I felt like overly cold and like would not feel well.
Oh, dude, I
Mm.
love a good air conditioner.
But it's like I think the
Same.
difference is like in when I was like in Madrid and Sevilla with no air conditioning, it was a dry heat, whereas like a humid heat makes you feel uncomfortable because you're just sweating and sticky.
Is that how you felt? Did you ever go to Barcelona?
I lived in Barcelona, yeah.
Was that a wet heat?
It was more of a wet heat.
I have the opposite experience. So I've been like out to like I've been to Spain. I've been to like the West. I know those are two different things. I wasn't saying Spain's in the West, but I've
Well,
had.
if you keep
it is
going
in the
that way
West.
far enough.
I guess. Dry heat, I actually like less. I'm
Really?
so used to the wet heat that I like being sweaty because the sweat's meant to cool you down. I actually would
Sure.
rather be like cold and sticky than warm and dry.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, that's kind of how I feel. But no, I did like an exchange program in Spain when I was a teenager, and
Where'd you go?
I went to Murcia and Valencia,
Nice.
and then
Valencia.
some beach. But yeah, I was 14 and I stayed with this guy who was like 16. So we would just go clubbing. I would just black out and like I was like this fucking tall.
Yeah.
And it was just a mess. It was lots of fun, but
Yeah.
like it was crazy because it was like my favorite thing is I showed up and he just turned me into a European douche immediately. He's like, these clothes not work. I don't know why he's Russian, but I can't do a Spanish accent. But he starts putting me in those polo outfits with like the giant polo guy on it.
Yeah,
It starts like
yeah.
popping my collar.
Yeah.
I'm wearing like jeans that are like fucking just. I bagged them with like a weird belt on it, with like a giant buckle.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a great time. I would love to go back as an adult. I really want to go to Japan. My brother and his
I've heard
wife.
Japan is sick.
Yeah.
I will say really quick before we pivot, I feel like Spain is actually like very slept on. When everyone thinks of like European countries that like contribute to the world, everyone's like, oh, like Italian food and like Italy and oh, like France is the Eiffel Tower and they have like all the art and whatnot. And it's like Spain, like Pablo Picasso was Spanish. Like I feel like there's
Yeah.
just so much that comes out of Spain.
Dali.
Dali was Spanish, like in the world of just like not so much food, I'd say, but like art and culture and whatnot that like affect the world, and everyone's like forgets about them. Like
Also,
poor
Spain-
Spain.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but on the grand scheme, they're fucking losers and they're nothing. And
And we're back. Morning good.
I will say this.
that was a weird departure.
they do a little bit, but if you were to like make a pie chart of who contributes the most to culture, I would say they're pretty low.
Who's higher?
I think first off, UK with rock and roll and so much has contributed a lot to culture.
Because of colonialism. Spain. I can't even. Everyone speaks Spanish.
Yeah,
Fuck,
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, dude. The Philippines.
You ever heard
like-
of South America?
Yeah,
You know Josh De Leon, the Filipino from Flushing, who has a Spanish last name.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would say
Oh.
England, Italy, and France have contributed more to culture than Spain. But like, I agree with what you're saying in the sense that like you can't like it is everybody's like it should be more of a destination because they do have tons of culture and lots of great things they contribute.
Travel to Spain if you can.
Yeah,
Yes.
if
agreed.
you can, but just make sure it's on the bottom of the list once you go to the other cool places. No, I'm kidding. It's a blast.
Spain, Madrid, but
I'm trying to
also
think.
like,
They have other stuff too. I can't even think of. But
the
just
cool
like,
thing about Spain
If
is
it was
like
good, you could think of it.
also if you
That's a good point.
have you been to the Met?
Yeah,
Yes.
You know the like Egyptian temple that's in the Met.
yeah, it's
Yes.
sick. Yeah,
So it's the counterpart of it is in Madrid.
yeah,
It's at
yeah.
the Temple of the Boat.
You know that was funded by opium or opiate addiction money.
Yeah. You know, you look
Sackler.
over things.
Sackler family.
Oh, really?
That was paid for on the death of like
I didn't know
Tennessee opiate addicts.
Well, I'll go look at it on opiates. Maybe it'll change my perspective on it. It's like you got to listen to music.
The hieroglyphics will start moving.
Yeah.
you
that.
know,
But I
yeah.
think Spain.
Anyway.
I think Spain is very like. I went to Barcelona for like a week, and then I came back to the States, and then I moved to Madrid that fall, pretty much. And I'd never been to Madrid, and it was very like a very big culture shock and everything. But it was sick because it's just like it's not terribly expensive for a European country.
Yeah,
You have very good weather. From Madrid, you go on the high-speed train. You're 2 hours to the Mediterranean. You're 2 hours to the Atlantic. You're 2 hours to the other part of the Atlantic. Like you're an hour flight from because there's the top. And
Oh, cool. This part of the Atlantic fucking sucks. I want to go to the other
It's a
part.
peninsula. I can't.
Yeah.
You're also like you're an hour flight from Lisbon. You're also if you go to Sevilla, you're a couple hours drive from Lagos, Portugal, which is some of the best surfing in the world.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're like you
Close
get
to Italy.
you get
Africa.
right. You get Mediterranean food. You get like good fish, good seafood in the north from the Atlantic. You also get good Moroccan and like Northern African food because it's so close to Africa. Like a lot of the people that come over there are from there because like the Strait of Gibraltar is I think like 15 miles.
Yeah.
It's not that far. You know, so it's like you have the and you also like have the French influence in the north. You have the Portuguese influence in the west. Like you have such a crazy mix of culture there. And like it's a relatively new country if you think about it, because up until the 70s it was a dictatorship.
Right.
So their constitution is only
They're-
like 40 years old, 50 years old.
Spain is
funny
another reason they get slept on is everyone thinks like Hitler, Germany, Mussolini, Italy, and they forget is it Franco?
Yeah.
Franco in Spain. He was terrible, and it's like
Yeah.
they keep getting stiffed on like all their history. Like
He's
it was
the reason-
awful.
It is kind of funny though. I will say this. I do
Yeah.
agree with you. It's got amazing food, great culture, but it is kind of funny that you're like, Spain is so great because if you
Because
go
it's
this way-
everything else.
Yeah. Because you get the French food over here. You get the top- No, but
North Africa, like Spain fucking sucks, but it's
Also,
just in
but
the
it's
middle
like-
of all
Yeah.
this.
You can go if you go to the south, you get like the beach culture, the Mediterranean. If you go to the north, you have the mountains. You can go surfing, you can go swimming
Yes.
or skiing as you do in the mountains. Also, Franco, one ball.
One testicle.
He only had one.
Do you think that's why he did his? Didn't think Hitler had one ball
Yep.
too?
It's a weird trend.
So if you guys
Um,
wanted to wonder where I stand on all that stuff, I got 2 balls.
I got 2 balls.
So I'm
and
Twice
I
as
hate-
anti-Semitic as Hitler.
But it's also that's the reason because Portugal and the UK and Ireland are all in the same time zone, but Spain is in the wrong time zone because they were trying to coordinate military efforts with Germany during the Second World War. They didn't do much, but like they maintained that time zone, so it's in the wrong place. Like it should be 5 hours instead of 6 hours, but it's 6 hours, and they just
Yeah, I
never fixed it.
Yeah, I got to go back because, like I said, I did lots of shit when I was like I went to Europe when I was like fucking 12, and I remember literally being like, "This is so gay," and I just had McDonald's, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's like you don't. I love my parents; they're great people, but like you bring a kid to Disney World, like you bring an adult
Yeah.
to Europe. Like I really
Yeah.
like to go as an adult.
It's also that's where I started stand up was in Madrid and then Barcelona.
See, this is one of my big fears too. I was so worried that like I couldn't do stand up in foreign countries. And I realized there's so many English speaking.
There's so
shows
many English
across,
people.
and I've heard they pay really well. And I've
Well,
heard,
so when I started, like, it was all the mics are like pre-booked. There's really not any like show up, go up type things. At least in Barcelona when I was there, and I never performed to less than 15 people in an
Yeah.
audience because they saw it as like a regular show. Because like in Europe they treat the arts like an actual sustainable thing,
Actual thing.
yeah.
whereas like here it's like actually, what if I never gave you any money, ever?
Oh, I was at a comedy club one time, and the booker told me, he goes, "Do you think people would like pay to get on stage here?"
Yeah,
And I was like, "Yeah, but you get really bad comedians." He's like, "I don't know, man. Might be a good idea." And I'm like,
Right.
You're a piece of shit."
but that's so I didn't know that stand up didn't have audiences sometimes
Yeah.
because I got so.
Well, I
used-
wasn't saying
and,
that
like,
about open mic. I understand the purpose of an open mic. You paying for that?
You mean like
Right.
a show?
I'm saying a show. The whole point is like, no, you should. These are a
Yeah,
level of
Yeah.
performers that shouldn't.
Right, but I was doing open mics to like 50 people.
Yeah.
And then I came back to Buffalo and I went to an open mic and I was like, hey, when does the audience show up? And they're like, they're here.
That's it. Yeah.
It's that guy.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's a very welcoming community because also like I'm doing it in my language.
Would
but
you do
there's-
it? Did you do it? I was gonna ask if you did it in English or in Spanish.
I did it in English because I wasn't very confident. I spoke Spanish a lot, like at my internship and like my master's and everything was all in Spanish. So like I do speak it well. I just wasn't very confident in like telling jokes in it.
Yeah, it's really
You
hard.
got-
gotta
I
be
also, like-
so good at a language to be
I was
able to
also
be
not
funny
confident
in,
in
it.
like English stand up at that point. I've been doing it for like 3 months. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna throw another language
Yeah.
into the mix.
I feel like I try to accent too hard. I'd be like, "It's rojo." Like I would just
Yeah.
be. I would turn into like some weird hacky Spanish comic that they'd be like, "This is cartoonishly racist towards
Yeah.
our people."
Yeah. But like in Barcelona right now, I know there's comedy in English, Spanish, Catalan, Russian, Italian, and French. Like every day of the week.
Tell you this: some of the
There
la-
isn't that much.
some of the worst
There's not
sense
much here,
Russians
yeah.
have the worst sense of humor. I don't like stereotype because I don't think it's really true. I think everything is like every group of people is different. You know, you might have. I believe in archetypes. So like there might be the Russian guy who's bald and scary.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in stereotypes really to the degree of like these people are like this or anything like that. But as far as like audiences that I've had that have been foreign, Russians have been just the hardest people to make laugh.
I also at
That
your
sounds about
mic,
right.
at your old mic at the watering hole,
hole.
R.I.P.
I know.
Do you remember that
The
bald
Russian
Russian guy?
Yes.
Sidrov.
He was so funny.
He was so funny. He did it in English, and I talked.
He was like a big Russian stand. Like the clips he
yeah.
post.
I talked
Wait,
to
I
him.
think I know who you're talking about.
Sidrov Valentin.
Yeah.
I looked him up because I met him after, and like we chatted briefly, and then I was like, I got his Instagram, and he like is a touring theater comedian in
Like
Russia.
he had like huge clips in Russia.
he had like 400,000 followers.
Well, that is the interesting thing is they as a people can be very funny, but
Yeah.
like as far as what they think is funny, it seems like
it's very different.
It seems like it's been harder to make them crack. And I said like you should start with a fresh slate always. I shouldn't be like Russian audience. Looks like I got to act differently. But I think it is like I have noticed culturally. I'm like, oh, this is a harder.
But that's what they say about like Germans as well. Like it's just their whatever they think. But that's also like in Spain, a good chunk of the Spanish humor is just making fun of other parts of Spain.
Right.
So like the Barcelonians are making
Because
fun
European
of like, the
nations
Sevillanos.
all
Yeah.
like hate other parts of the same European nation.
yeah.
Like that's so much of just the vibe
Yeah.
over there.
I would like to like get my Spanish up to a point where I could try sets in Spanish because it's like Des Bishop and
Despacito.
I love him. I saw him at the cellar last week.
David Nihil, the Irish guy. Back in the day, they were sent from Ireland to Beijing to learn Mandarin, and they both did an hour in Mandarin at the end of the year.
Oh, that's
and it was
sick.
like for Irish TV. But they
Yeah.
both still speak Mandarin like fluently because they learned it for so long. And like Des posts clips like speaking in Mandarin to audiences and shit all the time. It's sick.
That's fucking awesome.
and it's like I want that ability, but in
Ben
a way
Frank does that.
easier language.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
Mandarin is tough.
That's
That's
brutal.
crazy.
I hate to wrap it up because I'm having a great time. I got to run 10 miles. I just
Gotta
got to
get
go.
those six
I got
pack.
to go be a fucking athlete.
I gotta go run 10 miles, brother. I'm gonna go eat.
Don't talk to me that way. I just want to so bad. Where can they find you guys online?
Just Google me, Max Kaczor, K-C as in cat, C as in zebra, OR.com.
Yeah, look up Colossus from the X-Men.
Colossus from the X-Men.com /Max Kaczor.
And Josh Dittrich Comedy on Instagram. And if you want to find me in person, I live with Michael. So
Yeah, it's actually
come for
Dittrich.
him. You'll
You
find
heard the
me.
train, we're near one.
Yeah, we're by the train.
Thank you.